So our essential question is, how does rounding help me estimate? Our goal is to use rounding as one form of estimation and round whole numbers to any given place value. To remember rounding, you have to think about 5 or more, let it soar. That means that 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 always tell it to go up. If you have 4 or less, you let it rest. That means if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, the number should stay the same. So if we look at some examples here, we have 187. We are rounding to the nearest tens place, so I know that the 8 is in the tens place. The 7 is my boss, and the 7 tells the 8 to soar or to go up one more to a 9. Everything behind turns to a 0, and everything in front stays the same. Another example, rounded to the nearest tens place, we have 5 in the tens place. The 2 is the boss. The 2 tells the 5 to let it rest, which means to stay the same. So that would create 50. If we were rounding to the nearest hundreds place, we would follow the same procedures. We are going to find the hundreds place, which is the 7. The 2 is the boss, and the 2 says to rest or stay the same to make 700. If you have 98, this one's a little bit trickier. Again, you're rounding to the hundreds place. But when I find the hundreds place, there is nothing there. So what I have to do is hold its place by putting a 0. That 0 does not change the value of 98. Then the 9 becomes the boss, and the 9 tells that 0 to soar or to go up one more to create 100. Now, let's look at a word problem. So this says Alan has a chest of coins. Inside there are 170 gold coins and 472 silver coins. About how many coins are in the chest? So what we have to do is take our two numbers that were given, 472 and 170. This word problem does not tell me what they want me to round to, so I have to infer that they want me to round to the hundreds place. So I'm going to find the hundreds place. I'm going to look at the neighbor. The 7 tells the 4 to soar or to go up one more to make 5, and everything else turns to a 0. So here we have the 7 again being a boss, telling the 1 to soar or go up one more to make 2. Everything else turns to a 0. Then it says about how many coins are in the chest. That means we're going to add them together. 500 plus 200 would equal 700. If we look at one more word problem, this one here says Robert bought 47 packages of cookies. Each package had 70 cookies. About how many cookies did Robert buy? So again, we're going to take our two numbers that we see, 47 and 70, and we are going to infer that we're going to round to the nearest tens place because the numbers only go up to the tens place. When I look at my numbers though, I notice that 70 ends with a 0. That means I do not need to round it, but I do need to round 47. So again, the 7 is the boss. The 7 tells the 4 to, that's right, to go up, which turns it into 50. So this one's a little bit trickier. This one is a multiplication problem. The way that I know they're asking me to multiply is if I think about one package of cookies, and let's say that it had 3 cookies in it, and then I think about another package of cookies, and it also has 3 packages. I know that I have 2 boxes, and inside each box are 3 cookies, which would give me 6 cookies total, which is what I see. So this one is asking me to multiply 70 times 50. So if we are going to multiply this, we do not have to actually work this one out. Remember that you can cover up your zeros. That leaves you with 7 times 5, which is 35. And then you take your 2 zeros and add them to the back to make 3,500. So there are about 3,500 cookies that Robert bought.